The New Orleans Pelicans this season have been flat out bad, and sometimes it's really frustrating to watch. At times, they look like a team with all of the potential and promise in the world, but at other times, they just look like a team that shouldn't be playing in the NBA. And of course, I mean that in the sincerest way possible, because again, I think this is a team with a supreme amount of talent. I think Lonzo Ball is a beast who's finally coming into his own, and I'll be doing a video on that shortly. But also, you have guys like Brandon Ingram, who are having phenomenal years, putting up 25 points, shooting 48% from the field, and a scorching 41% from deep. He's truly came into his own this season, and you could say getting away from LeBron would be one of the best things for him. And that's not to say LeBron's a bad player or a bad teammate. I just don't think Ingram would have taken the leaps that he took this season in Los Angeles. He put up big numbers last season when LeBron was out, and since then, those numbers have only gone up. Big time scorer, big time player. And let's just say, he'll be getting some big time help soon. This video, we're going to be talking about Zion Williamson's debut and what it means for the New Orleans Pelicans and the rest of their season, and perhaps what it means for the rest of the league. Recently, there have been more and more videos dropping of a healthy Zion Williamson, and I will be sure to show you guys those videos in this one. But before we go any further, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. You will not want to miss another GETLIKECOOP video. And that's facts. I'm trying to get to 200,000 subscribers so I can go full time and bring you guys daily content. So be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. So guys, I am getting close to starting my football channel, and I am still interested in knowing how many of you guys from this channel really would like to see that football channel. But regardless, be sure to comment down below any cool names you guys might have for that football channel. Also, I am open for video suggestions. We will be getting more rumors and breakdowns very soon. With that being said, be sure to follow my IG handle, GETLIKECOOP. You will not want to miss another post. So when I talk about the Pelicans being bad, let me give you guys some more of an idea. Let's take a quick look at this tweet from Andrew Lopez. He says the Pelicans have used 133 starting lineups under Alvin Gentry. That's the most in the NBA in that span. That's 13 more than the team behind them, Memphis. What does this stat tell us? That the Pelicans have been somewhat of a mess, or pretty injured, or maybe both. But honestly, I'm glad Alvin Gentry has been trying, even though it hasn't always been pretty. Anyways, Memphis, who's the current 8 seed, is the other team that has used a ton of different starting lineups. So I do think that's interesting because the 8th spot in the West is going to be incredibly tough to come by. The Grizzlies, as of late, have really been a tough team to beat. When you look at what Ja Morant's doing, it's nothing short of amazing. He's the favorite to win Rookie of the Year, and many have him as a virtual lock for the award. I'm interested in knowing down in the comments below, is there anything in your mind that Zion Williamson could do to possibly win the Rookie of the Year award? How good would he have to be? Or is it already done, and no matter what Zion does, he could not win the award because he simply missed too much time? Or maybe Ja's just been that good. It's definitely been a fun year in the NBA, and somehow, it feels like we're just getting started. But to get back on topic, the Grizzlies are 7-3 in their last 10 games. This is pretty good, especially for a team like the Memphis Grizzlies. Nobody really expected this team to be that good coming into the season. But of course, that's the beauty of the NBA. You should always expect the unexpected. When you think you have things figured out, it may surprise you. Perhaps one of the biggest surprises in the NBA is going to be Zion Williamson's return. There were a lot of rumors swirling around that Zion Williamson might not play at all this season. But to be honest, I can understand the rumors, because with the Pelicans being so bad and Zion needing some restructuring of his body composition and his gait, you could understand why the Pelicans would want to sit Zion Williamson for the remainder of the season. Today, Mitch Lawrence tweeted the Pelicans will know a lot more after practice this week, but it sure sounds like we'll get the long-awaited NBA debut of Zion Williamson on Thursday versus the Utah Jazz. That's the plan anyway. The debut feels long overdue, and for the most part, it's felt like Zion's been ready for a while. We've been seeing these videos of Zion dunking, not just doing any dunks, doing incredibly explosive dunks, where he looks just as explosive or more explosive than ever. Don't forget, looks can be deceiving, and just because he looks healthy doesn't mean that he is healthy. But Zion Williamson has been cleared to play. He is set to make his NBA debut. This is going to be somewhat of an NBA changing moment because I feel like Zion Williamson has the potential to be that good. Some people may forget how good he was in college, how good this guy was in high school. And I mean, even if you forgot about those things, he dominated NBA preseason. He was going up against Defensive Player of the Year type players, and he was making things look easy. He had a historically good preseason, and of course it's the NBA preseason, and these things don't matter that much come regular season, but the way he was doing it looked like it would translate to the next level, and so far everything he's done has translated. In the preseason, the Pelicans went 5-0, and the effect that Ja is having on the Grizzlies right now, Zion could have that same effect on the New Orleans Pelicans, and you could argue that Zion could possibly have an even bigger effect. He's an infectious player who has a type of demeanor that goes a long way in winning environments. I saw one analyst call Zion Williamson a Draymond Green type of passer who's going to excel playing with players like Jackson Hayes. Hayes, like Zion, is an absolutely electric finisher. You never know what he's going to do around the basket. And even if he doesn't dunk it, he finishes at such a high rate, it puts him among the league's best. And again, Hayes, like Zion, is somebody with absolutely ridiculous body control for somebody of their size and their stature. This duo going forward can be absolutely ridiculous. I think these two players will have energy that feeds off of each other. Then you bring somebody like Lonzo Ball into the equation, somebody who plays their best basketball playing fast, playing with players like Jackson Hayes, like Zion Williamson, who can finish really well. This season, the Pelicans have been a really weird team. Possibly one of their most important players has been Derek Favors. They just don't look the same when Favors doesn't play. And while the Pelicans record shows it, you could feel it even more when he's not on the court. The Pelicans going forward are going to be a team that offers elite length and athleticism. On the screen right now, I have more footage of Zion practicing and playing pickup basketball, looking crafty and athletic while being able to get to the basket and showcase that elite body control and athleticism. I think it's really funny that there were some people ready to call Zion Williamson a bust just because he wasn't healthy to start his NBA career. I think a lot of players are unfairly called busts because they simply could not get healthy. These are things that go far beyond their control. And if you're a player who has not been healthy, then how could you properly show how good you are at the NBA level? I've always felt that bust was an incredibly harsh label. I mean, not long ago, we saw Kendrick Perkins, of all players, call Lonzo Ball a bust. Lonzo Ball is under 23 years old. How could this guy be a bust this early in his career? It wasn't like Lonzo wasn't productive early on. Yes, before this recent stretch, he has had trouble shooting the ball, but even so, that would not make Lonzo Ball a bust, especially when he's productive in other parts of his game. And I'll go more in depth with the Lonzo Ball stuff in another video. But of course, this isn't the only little beef that we've seen Kendrick Perkins get in recently. Recently, Perkins took shots at Kevin Durant. Yes, the Kendrick Perkins took shots at Kevin Durant, one of the best scorers to ever play the game of basketball. For everything that everybody hates Kevin Durant for, one thing I like about him is he speaks his mind. Yeah, he's had the burner accounts in the past, but still, he's a transparent star. And when something's bothering him now, he says it. As low as I've been on the Pelicans this season, I have to say that Alvin Gentry has done a good job of not giving up. The team has looked a lot better recently. Outside of the Celtics loss where Jason Tatum almost had 50, things seem to be on the up and up. And with Zion Williamson returning, there's reason for excitement again for New Orleans basketball. And I'm talking about excitement levels that we've never had before. Even without playing a game, Zion is one of the most polarizing players in the entire NBA. When you look at what he's done for the ticket sales of the New Orleans Pelicans, and when you look at what he does for the ratings of the NBA, it's almost a little absurd. With all of the warranted Ja Morant hype, I'm interested in knowing, would you guys have taken Ja #1 overall? And if you would, explain why in the comments below. Some people say it's a point guard's league. Maybe they're right. Or maybe the meta is changing. Or maybe it was there all along. Be sure to click the video on the screen right now, guys. It's me going over Caruso and Taco Fall, how they will make the All-Star game. Be sure to subscribe, notice on, and I'm out.